So today's class we are going to discuss the leverage analysis. When we are doing business, we are taking risk. The business is all about managing the risk. So we should understand the risk, we should be able to quantify the risk, and we should have tools to manage that risk. Several risks we are going to see, but at the moment what we are going to talk about is two types of risks. When you want to do a business, you will be exposed to two types of risk. One risk is called as business risk, that arises because of the fixed cost. For example, I want to start a coaching center in, let us say, in Bangalore. So I have to take a place for which I have to pay rent. Rent is a fixed cost. I have to appoint a manager and I have to appoint the staff, telephone expenses, advertisement. All this will be a fixed cost which I have to bear. I may take in a school, in which case my fixed cost is less, or I can go for a own place, expensive place, air condition it. It will be little more cost, but finally I have to incur a fixed cost. That is inevitable. That is called as business risk, and it is measured by what is called as operating leverage. I may have a smaller fixed cost or an expensive fixed cost. You can see management institutes, they start in a very big place, they take for huge rent, but they charge huge money. We will come to that, how to manage it, what are the risks we are taking. So first and foremost step is, we have to recognize that when you start a business, inevitably you have to invest, you have to incur fixed cost month after month. It's a period cost, and it is known as operating leverage. It's only a degree, so it's called as degree of operating leverage. So the summary is, operating leverage arises because of the incidence of fixed cost. It is called as business risk, and it is a, what you call as, it is a not diversifiable risk. It is an inherent risk, one has to take, unavoidable risk. The other risk which arises because of, see, for example, I need rent deposit, I have to buy computers, I have to have furniture. All these things involve investment. So it might involve, say, 20 lakhs. So that 20 lakhs I can borrow, in which case I will pay rent, or I can use my own funds. But there is some, in my own funds I did not pay any interest and all, though there is an opportunity cost. This is known as finance risk. Operating risk arises because of fixed cost, finance risk arises because of interest on loans borrowed. While fixed cost is an uncontrollable risk, finance risk is a controllable risk. You can borrow money when you want it. If you don't want money, you can use your own funds. So when you do a business, you are exposed to both risks. So degree of operating leverage into degree of combined financial leverage. Both risks will be there. DOL into DFL is equal to DCL, degree of combined leverage. So it's very simple understanding that we have a risk. What is the risk? Whether you have sales or not, fixed cost has to be incurred. And whether you get profits or not, you have to pay interest if you borrow money. Therefore, we call them as risks. Right. First part O. You may read the chart that is given before you. Formulas are also given. For understanding the formulas, you need to have an operating income statement. The operating statement is sales less variable cost, you get contribution, less fixed cost, you get profit before interest and taxes, less interest, you get profit before tax. You pay tax, you get profit after tax. That is the income statement. Now if you see friends, the operating leverage arises because of fixed cost. Therefore the formula is contribution divided by PBIT. Contribution divided by PBIT. Because the fixed cost. Suppose the contribution is 60,000 and PBIT is 10,000. Contribution is 60,000, PBIT is 10,000. That means fixed cost is 50,000. So operating leverage will be 6 by 1. 60,000 divided by 10,000, 6 times. 6 times is equal to 6 by 1. So when you say operating leverage is 6 times, it means fixed cost is 5. 6 minus 1, 5. If operating leverage is 3 times, it means 3 minus 1, fixed cost is 2 times. That's all. So, the finance risk arises because of interest. Therefore, the formula is PBIT by PBT. PBIT divided by PBT. Same explanation will apply. Profit before interest and tax is 60,000. Interest is 10,000. Then you have 50,000. 60,000 divided by 50,000, 1.2 times. So in other words, a high value for leverage represents high incidence of fixed cost or interest. When you say operating leverage is 6 times, it means fixed cost is more. If you say financial leverage is 2 times, that means interest is less. That is the understanding. Right. First we understood what is the leverages. There are 3 types of leverages we are going to see. One is operating leverage, arises because of fixed cost. 2, financial leverage arises because of interest. 3, the product of A and B is called as combined leverage. The second is we understood how to compute the leverages. We need to have a format of income statement and then remember it. What is the formula which is given in the chart. So, I have given you a problem, very simple problem and the answer also is there. The summary is also high leverage means incidence of high fixed cost or high interest, and low leverage value means incidence is less, and when you say operating leverage is 5 times, fixed cost is 4. Financial leverage is 4 times means interest is 3. That is what you have to understand. So we have given you the next problem, that is company X. Variable cost as a percentage of sales is 50%. Interest expense is 20,000. Degree of operating leverage 3 times. 3 dash 1 means 3 times, 3 by 1. Degree of financial leverage is 2 times, 2 dash 1. Income tax is 30%. You are asked to prepare an income statement. How to do this problem? First you put the income statement. What is given in the problem is only interest as 20,000. Interest as 20,000. So fill that interest 20,000. And you are also given financial leverage as 2 times. So 2 times means PBIT is 2 means PBT is 1. That is the understanding. PBIT is 2x means PBT is x. That means interest is also 1x. 1x is equal to 20,000. 2x will be 40,000. Therefore, PBIT is equal to 40,000 and PBT is equal to 20,000. So, students should put the format. Interest is given as 20,000. So, 2, 1, 1. Because financial leverage is 2 times. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2, 1, 1. 1 is equal to 20,000. 2 will be 40,000. Right. Then we go for operating leverage is 3, 1. That means contribution is 3x. PBIT will be x. So that means fixed cost will be 2x. Therefore, x is equal to 40,000, 2x is equal to 80,000, 3x is equal to 1,20,000. So contribution we have got. Then he says 50% is variable cost. If sales is 100, 50% is variable cost, 50% is contribution. 50 is equal to 1,20,000. So 100 will be 2,40,000. That's all. This is a missing figure. What I suggest is put the income statement and then do the problem as explained. We are going to explain what is this indifference point, financial break-even point. There are two things they will always ask. What is indifference point? This is something to do with the capital structure. Suppose I need, say in this problem itself I will explain. The problem, if you see, you are requiring 15 lakhs equity, 25 lakhs preference shares, 10% debentures 5 lakhs. Total funds employed is 45 lakhs. In alternative finance 1 plan, you are having 45 lakhs. Alternative 2 also 45 lakhs, but then you are having a different mix. So, first step is we are talking here about financing decisions, capital structure decisions. What is finance decision? Capital structure means, if you read this problem, you understand. The funds required are 45 lakhs. Now, sources we are employing is equity, preference and debentures. Long-term sources only we are talking. Capital means long-term. So, alternative 1 we are having 3 types of sources. Whereas alternative 2 is you have only equity and debt. So, different mixes, capital structure, funds required are same 45 lakhs, but the composition of the elements are different. Alright. Now what happens is indifference point means whenever there is one advantage and disadvantage in two plants, whenever there is advantage and disadvantage in two different plants, this situation arises. For example, Bangalore Mail is going to Bangalore, Rajdhani also going to Bangalore, let us say. Bangalore Mail starts at 8 o'clock, it is going at 80 kilometers per hour. And Rajdhani starts at 10 o'clock, running at 100 kilometers per hour. What happens is, Bangalore Mail is starting early, is advantage, but going slow, disadvantage. Rajdhani is going fast, advantage, but starts late, that is disadvantage. That means at one point, the Rajdhani Express will cross the Bangalore Express. That point at which it crosses is called as indifference point. So in other words, whenever there are two plants with advantage and disadvantage, then you can calculate the indifference point. Is the level in EBIT. The level, what is indifference point? The level in EBIT, same EBIT, at which earnings per share will be same. The level in EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes, between two plants, only two plants, at which the earnings per share is same. Right. So earnings per share, how will you calculate? You can see that formula, profit statement, you can see EBIT minus interest, EBT, tax, profit after tax, you get preference dividend, then paid preference dividend, what is available to equity shareholders, that's called PAT, and profit available earnings, that's called actually earnings, number of equity shares. So you can find in this problem, you can create an equation, EBIT minus I1, EBIT minus I that is interest, into 1 minus t, that is after tax. EBIT minus I is EBT, into 1 minus t means EAT, earnings after tax, minus PD, preference dividend, divided by N1, that is number of equity shares. This is plan 1. Plan 2 you compare. When you solve that equation, you get 11,35,000. So in other words, you will say 11,35,000 is EBIT at which the indifference point, that is the earnings per share, is same 16.17, and the plan which is more risky will be profitable. Once you cross, the earnings are more than a particular level, this indifference point, the capital structure with high risk will show more profit. That can be tested by applying the financial break-even point. Financial break-even point is nothing but the EBIT at which EPS is 0. EPS is 0, break-even point. So you can see financial break-even point is very simple presentation. Interest plus preference dividend divided by 1 minus t, because interest is before tax. You understand? That means profit after profit, interest, profit after before tax. Whereas preference dividend is not admissible as deduction for tax purposes. Therefore, you would like to preference dividend, you should take more money. So in this problem, if you see that the EBIT, the financial break-even point, plan 1 comes to 6,50,000 and plan 2 comes to 1,65,000. In plan 2, you have only interest I, so 1,65,000. Whereas in plan 1, you have 50,000 plus 50,000 plus preference dividend is 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs divided by 1 minus 0.5. So therefore, you have to earn 6,50,000 only to reach. If the earnings are 6,50,000, you pay interest 50,000, 6 lakhs, pay tax 50%, 3 lakhs, preference dividend 3 lakhs, nil. But above this level, the plan 1 will become profitable, which you can check it out. Now friends, what is the significance of combined leverage? It's for example, combined leverage is, let us say, operating leverage is, let us say, 10 times. Financial leverage is, say, 4 times. So 10 into 4 is 40 times. That is called as combined leverage. How to express it? How to understand this, if you ask? It's very simple. When the sales are increasing by 10% from the given level, the profit will increase by 10 into 40 times, 400%. If the sales falls by 10%, the profit will also fall by 40%. That is the understanding. So high risk proposition, that is what we are going to understand. Now friends, in a business, how to manage this risk practically means, what is the problem in any business is competition, and therefore the demand fluctuations will be pretty high. The demand fluctuations will be very, very high. So we are not certain. If the demand is very good, we should take risk. So when the demand is certain, then we can take risk. But when the demand becomes uncertain, then we have to manage the risk. For example, I know that when I start a coaching class, I will get large number of students. If I start a new product, I am sure of selling that product. Then I will go for expensive, high fixed cost I can go. Even I can go for high interest also, no problem. But then, As a businessman, we have to make maximum use of the fixed assets, fixed cost. Keep on expanding when the demand is good. But at the same time, when you are earning profits, from that profits you repay the loans so that you can reduce the interest element. So you cannot have everything high. So if one is more, another thing should be less. Otherwise, it will be a risky position. So in all business management, we get into trouble because of the uncertainty in the business. It's like sitting on a tiger. Some shocks, unexpected shocks will be there. Then we have to match that shocks. That means we should have big results. So many businesses which are doing very well can get collapsed, no time, because you don't have proper results. Cushion has to be created. Many people when they see success, they keep growing, nothing wrong. But when you grow, you have to have a base. As I told you, you should always create a cash cow. That means a company which will generate huge profits, certainly. And out of that, some money you can use it to take risk. That is the leverage analysis. Okay, friends. So in this session, we have understood what is leverages, and we also learned how to compute the formulas for operating leverage and financial leverage and combined leverage. Then one problem we have worked out, one missing problem we have worked out. Then we try to understand what is the financial break-even point and what is the indifference point.